Hello, everyone, and welcome to Now and Them. I'm your host, Julia Jornce Silverberg, and I am joined by my incredible co-host, Andres Medina. And this is our monthly live show where we like to bring you behind the keyboard to talk about breaking news, share tips and tools, all to help you up your digital marketing game and have a lot of fun in the process. Because our goal is to be a voice and a sounding board for digital marketers who really need to know that you are not alone when it comes to the crazy world that is social media. So I'm super excited. Think of this as your monthly laugh and learn. Andreas, are you ready for this month's episode?
I'm so ready. I was talking to Chris Stone before, to our guest Chris, before we were going live, and honestly, I can't wait for everyone to meet him. He seems like everything he talks about is super interesting, so I can't wait to have him on screen here.
Yes, we are so excited, you guys, for this month because we have Chris Stone, as Andreas said, joining us. And Chris is going to talk all about Amazon, specifically how you can be using Amazon to its full potential. He's going to talk about live video. He's going to talk about the influencer program. And so we are super excited. So, Andreas, I want to know first, are you like a big Amazon person?
Oh, yes. Although Amazon is pretty limited in Puerto Rico. I mean, we do get a lot of the products delivered here, but there's also plenty of products that are like Amazon feature products that do not ship to Puerto Rico. But I found a way around that. You send it over to a friend in the States, and then he'll ship it over to me. But yeah, I'm a huge Amazon fan, and honestly, I've been looking into joining the Amazon like influencer program and stuff that they have available just to make some extra money on the side. And I can't wait to see what Chris has to speak about in terms of that.
Exactly. Me too. I have joined already the influencer program. So I am extra excited to hear from Chris because I want to make sure that I am maximizing my storefront and just tapping into all of the opportunities to, like you said, Andreas, just add a little stream of income. It's like if you're shopping on Amazon, finding things you love, why not take the time to do what Chris is going to show us and talk about? Because you can be making money literally in your sleep. So before we bring Chris on, let's dive into some news.
All right. So the first news that we have, the first news article actually, is about Meta. So Meta launches a new creator monetization initiative, including more Reels payments, showing and continued push by the platform to allow creators to monetize. Through their brand collabs manager and Reels Play bonus program, Meta is pushing to allow creators to cross-post Instagram Reels to Facebook, and I've actually started to see that Reels on Facebook, and it gets confusing when I'm sharing it to a friend because I'm so used to seeing it on Instagram and sharing it to a friend on Instagram. But yeah, just to finish up the news article here. They want to monetize those Reels in both apps, which makes sense given that Reels is the fastest growing content type. I'm not a creator, but I'm sure creators are excited about this, that they can finally start. The monetization process is easier now for them, I feel like. It used to be so confusing at first, but with all these updates, I feel like it's getting easier for them to monetize their content.
Totally. It is definitely getting easier, I think, for creators to monetize their content. But I love what Chad put in here, which is that keeping up with the platform changes, the evolutions of these platforms and just how they're moving with such like the features are getting introduced and then Instagram is taking them away. There has been a lot happening, especially on the Instagram front when it comes to monetization and just the opportunities available to creators, which honestly brings us right into that next news story because there have been a lot of people that have been very unhappy with Instagram lately. People are not thrilled about the push to short form content. And so Adam Mosseri jumped on Instagram to explain what's going on.
on Instagram right now. We're experimenting with a number of different changes to the app. And so we're hearing a lot of concerns from all of you. So I wanted to take a few moments and clarify a few things. One is, if you're seeing a new full screen version of a feed, or you're hearing about it, know that that is a test. It's a test to a few percentage of people out there, and the idea is that a more full screen experience, not only for videos but for photos, might be a more fun, engaging experience. But I also want to be clear, it's not yet good. And we're going to have to get it to a good place if we're going to ship it to the rest of the Instagram community. The second thing I'm hearing a lot of concerns about right now are photos and how we're shifting to video. Now, I want to be clear. We're going to continue to support photos. It's part of our heritage. I love photos. I know a lot of you out there love photos too. That said, I need to be honest. I do believe that more and more of Instagram is going to become video over time. We see this even if we change nothing. We see this even if you just look at chronological feed. If you look at what people share on Instagram, that's shifting more and more to videos over time. If you look at what people like and consume and view on Instagram, that's also shifting more and more to video over time, even when we stop changing anything. So we're going to have to lean into that shift while continuing to support photos. The third thing I want to talk about is recommendations. Recommendations are posts in your feed from accounts that you do not follow. The idea is to help you discover new and interesting things on Instagram that you might not know even exist. Now, if you're seeing things in your feed that are recommendations that you're not interested in, that means that we're doing a bad job ranking and we need to improve. And you can X out a recommendation. You can even snooze all recommendations for up to a month or go to your following feed. But we're going to continue to try and get better at recommendations because we think it's one of the most effective and important ways to help creators reach more people. We want to do our best by creators, particularly small creators, and we see recommendations as one of the best ways to help them reach a new audience and grow their following. Now, this is a lot of change all at once, but know that a number of things about Instagram are going to stay the same. We're going to stay committed to creators more broadly. We're going to stay committed to supporting photos. We're going to stay in a place where we try and put your friends' content at the top of feed and the front of stories whenever possible. But we're also going to need to evolve because the world is changing quickly and we're going to have to change along with it. So please, let me know what you think down in the comments and know that I'm going to continue to be here explaining our changes as we come up with them, the reasoning behind them, and give you the latest updates about what's going on Instagram. I'll see you soon. Peace.
Thank you, Chad, for rolling that for us. So that is a really, really good explanation. Couldn't have said it, obviously, better myself. So, Andreas, there is another Instagram story, I think, that we're going to share with our audience. So take it away.
Yes. So before I give out my thoughts about all those updates in that video, I'm going to talk about this news article and then I'm going to share my thoughts because they align together. So this article is about Instagram recently adding a promotional option to boost Reels for your brand. So this definitely will increase engagement, and I definitely see a lot of users, of my friends, using it just to get more likes or something to reach more people. That's just a non-business side. But this is something like companies should look carefully. Like you should not be boosting a reel just because, I want to put these reels in front of more eyes. You should look at your insights and see which organic content has the best traction, and then see if it's viable to boost that post. Now my thoughts on this whole Reels payment system and all those updates on Instagram. And I would like to know what you think, Julia. But here's my prediction. I look at analytics, and brands that are using Reels have a huge spike on reach and engagement. Now that companies can boost those Reels and monetize them, do you think that seeing higher engagement numbers will be the new normal? Kind of like an insights inflation, if you would?
Yes.
A lot of people are going to be paying to show Reels now that the algorithm is showing your content to people that do not follow you. It's easier to be discovered, but also the reach is higher. So would the new normal be to have a higher reach number than what the average is now?
I think that's a really good thought. I think if there's a mass adoption of a lot of people and brands boosting Reels, then yes, we're going to see just more and more views. So it will be expected that when you post something, it will kind of have you'll start to see more views. So like the expectation will be a higher view for when you post a new piece of content, but I think only if a lot of people start actually paying to boost them, because otherwise it's just going to be a lot of organic, real content still, and that will kind of be what the expectation is. But regardless, I think that it is so important for brands to really, really start playing around with Reels, regardless of what kind of team you have an iPhone or a smartphone, and you have the ability to capture video with your phone. You don't even have to be on video and be talking to a camera. You can be capturing video of things that you're doing in kind of like behind the scenes content for your brand. And you don't even have to be making reels from scratch anymore. There are templates available. So there's literally no reason to not start experimenting, at least as a brand, for creating this kind of short form content, because we're seeing that that's the kind of content that is really growing accounts and it is helping you reach new people. So if you want to try and get new eyeballs, get some new engagement, you really need to be trying reels. And what's cool to see, something that I'm seeing for our Now brand, I posted a reel a few days ago in the Social Media Week Lima account, and it is getting more engagement today. It was like the reel performed, and then a few days later, it like caught a second wind and had this whole extra round of traction. We've gotten a few new followers on the account today and just gotten a whole bunch of new likes and a bunch more views. So that's also very cool. Something that I don't see happening with standard content on Instagram. You're not seeing it get another second life. So reels are really, really important, I think, to start playing around with. And I love what Jacqueline said too. It's she said it's like the double-edged sword. It pushes into new audiences and pushes into audiences that might not align. So that's the other thing too, is you don't want to just get views for the sake of getting views, right? The whole goal to be using these things is to be capturing the right audience, your target audience. So try not to kind of get all like starry-eyed over views for views' sake. Everyone wants to go viral, but you want to make sure that you're reaching the right people, because just going viral isn't necessarily going to impact your company's bottom line at all. It's about reaching the right people who have a need for what you offer. So that's my Reels rant of the day.
It's just I have clients that are getting into this mix, and I have friends too, because it's not all the time business, but like it's a double-edged sword, because next thing you know, the client is excited about the views, but then the sales are down. So what's actually the point of getting those views, you know? So be careful what are you sharing, you know? But yeah, let's keep going with the news articles before we fall back in schedule here.
So the next news story we have is Twitter. Twitter decided to make a very interesting decision, and their Twitter Blue subscription, they increased the price from $2.99 to $4.99. And they are not increasing the functionality or the features at all. So I just thought that was mind-blowing, given that we are in recession times. For a social media app to increase their subscription price and not offer new functionality doesn't make sense to me. So I want to know, let us know in the comments, are you using Twitter Blue, and would you stay subscribed with this price increase? Andreas?
I'm not going to say, if I was me, if it were me, I would not be paying for Twitter Blue, just because I don't use it personally. But if brands are using it and if it's working, then I guess they'll be paying for it. So I'm going to jump into the next news article, which is all about TikTok. So TikTok added new tools. Surprise. They're now working on captions and translation services to help creators maximize their reach on their videos. And I know a lot of people do not see these features available on Facebook and Instagram. And I've noticed it every time I travel and I see the content of my friends while I'm in Ohio or something. It shows up in English just because of my location. So now seeing TikTok incorporating this, I think this is going to help them grow, because it is an app used worldwide, and believe it or not, like Spanish is one of the most spoken languages in the world, and English too. So like it's ideal to have that translation service in there. What do you think? Would you be using this? I know you record a lot of TikToks.
I think all kind of translation services, captioning, translation, I think the more the better. If you can make your content accessible, that is just so important. And adding captions is going to make people who are like watching it without sound be able to still get value from your video. So our last news story is still about TikTok, and TikTok is working very hard to make live stream commerce a thing, especially in the United States, because they did a study and they found that 50% of TikTok users have bought something after watching TikTok live. So it's very clear to see. And especially in China, they saw over $100 billion worth of product sales were generated in 2021 by TikTok's sister app in China. And so TikTok is like, okay, we're going to try and repeat that success. So TikTok is doubling down on live stream commerce. So I'm just super excited to see where this ends up moving. And honestly, it's perfect because live stream commerce, like we're bringing Chris on soon. He's going to talk about Amazon Live. He's going to talk about the influencer program. So I am very excited to get into that. But before we do, we've got some shout outs and we want to know if you guys are celebrating anything. So you are good, Chad. So we are shouting out Andreas, honestly. Andreas is our big shout out this month because he just celebrated his birthday and he celebrates his now-iversary at the end of the month. So August is all about Andreas. So we want to know, I love that video of you.
Why am I shirtless? Chad, I blame you for this.
So we want to know,
George the Manis.
if you guys are celebrating anything, if you have a birthday, if you have an anniversary, maybe you got a puppy, whatever it is, we want you to let us know in the comments so that we can celebrate you. And before we bring Chris on, I am still riding the high from Social Media Week Lima. We had so much fun in June, being together as a team, laughing, learning, selfieing it up, and co-creating. And it was just the most epic time. And you guys, we have tickets on sale for next year at the lowest price that they will ever be. So you can visit sociallima.com to get your tickets. But rather than me tell you all about the conference, I'll let you see it.
To co-create? What can we do today to shrink the distance between us and our customer? How can we show up to provide better experiences? What does that look like? Out-care the competition and you can grow your brand, because relationships are the currency of business and experiences are the transactions that we're exchanging. How are we making people feel? How are we building relationships with them?
am so excited to have Chris Stone as our guest this month. Chad will bring you on here in just a second. I'm eagerly anticipating. Hey!
There we go.
There he is.
Welcome to the show, Chris. I'm so happy that you're here. How's your day been going?
Well, it's gotten a lot better. I was telling you guys earlier that this, it's already the pre-show for me was the best part of the week. So it can only get even better from here, even though Chad E. Peterson is putting up pictures of myself that I have no idea existed. But that's part of the thing, right? That's part of the thing. But thank you so much for having me on this amazing show. What's killer is that I guess I get to talk at some point, but I'm learning all of this stuff as I go along, and it's always great to tune in, and it's always great to see the King of Puerto Rico and the Queen of Buffalo with the biggest smile on the interwebs. And thank you again for having me on.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. You are just the greatest. Yeah, we had so much fun in the pre-show, you guys. That's the best. I mean, not the best part. We love being here, but it is so fun to get to talk off camera with our guests and just get to know them a little bit better. So, Chris, let our audience get to know you in just a few seconds. I'm going to give a little introduction, and then I want you to give a little introduction and kind of share how you got into Amazon and why this is something you're so passionate about. Because Chris, you guys, is driven to help inspiring brands and motivated entrepreneurs share their stories and maximize their missions via the power of podcasting, live streaming, and digital marketing. He founded Cast Ahead after the success of his own co-hosted podcast, which totally changed his life. And he believes that everyone deserves to be heard by using their own voice in their own way. And his goal is to be a team member with passionate entrepreneurs and ambitious businesses by integrating podcasting or live streaming into their business goals. So tell us, Chris, how you do that and how you got started doing that.
I can't believe that's the first time I've ever heard that. So, oh man, thank you for debuting that. That guy sounds okay. My name is Chris Stone. I'm at Cast Ahead at castahead.net, and I work with entrepreneurs to make their show, because most of the time, people, they just want a show. They don't want to know how all of the bells and whistles work and how the sausage is made, all of that stuff. They just want a show, and that's what we do for them. So that's, that's everything from soup to nuts, from creating a show that is primarily usually live, like this one is, and then taking it, repurposing it into an audio podcast, social media, and all of that great stuff. And I also am super lucky, blessed to be able to do a show on Amazon with my good buddy Jim Fuse, doing marketing the Marine Corps way. The show is called Dealcasters, and we started that a little over 2 years ago. With the intention of really just to do a show together, to be completely honest, because it really fit what we wanted to do in our businesses, which I had explained, and Jim has a similar business as well. And we had no idea, and our expectations were like this, but we had no idea just the type of impact that we would have, the type of influence that we had. We just hosted an event down for PodFest and VidFest in Orlando, where we brought down 20 different Amazon influencers to tell everyone about the secret weapon of the creator economy, which we believe is the Amazon Influencer Program and Amazon Video. It really is not just a way to make some money while you sleep, like you had mentioned, Julia, but also a great way to take advantage of what is coming from Asia that is already here in the US, and other brands. You had mentioned TikTok is doubling down on that. Some of these other brands are sort of spinning out of it, but there's a new integration with Shopify and YouTube. And so live selling and live shopping is a great way to create influence, to work for your brand, for your agency. And you don't have to be QVC. You don't have to be the Home Shopping Network. You can create a real show. And so if you go and you see Dealcasters, it's a show, it's a podcast, it's a conversation, you could buy stuff while you're watching us, kind of thing. And so it's just really something that we evangelize other great content creators like yourself. I'm really happy that you had gotten approved and that Andres is moving towards that as well, to evangelize really good content creators on the platform, because quite frankly, we need them. And so if everyone remembers YouTube from back in the day, when it first kind of got started and maybe the creator program hadn't existed, you would get on YouTube and it was like, wow, this is a dumpster fire. Why am I watching this? There's somebody's fishbowl, or whatever, all this. And everybody's like, you got to get on YouTube. You got to get on YouTube. Well, now fast forward to 2022, and we all wished we had started a YouTube channel back then. Now there's 60 million YouTube channels, and on Amazon, and I really want to underline this, on Amazon, in the influencer program, we believe there's less than 3,000 influencers on that platform. And so the pool is like this, and many of the influencers that are getting approved for the platform have never gone live. They've never fired up a video camera and done what we're doing right now. And so they're trying to learn OBS, or they're trying to. And so if you're someone that kind of knows enough to be dangerous in terms of live video and you get approved, it's really a great way for you to create impact and, make some money while you sleep.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about how the influencer program works.
Yeah, I'll break it down as simply as I can. There's an approval process. So you'll need to have an Amazon account. Okay, most everybody does. Everybody buys something on Amazon. You don't have to have a Prime account. It doesn't give you a benefit if you do, but you just need to have an Amazon account. And then you need to have an Amazon Associates account, which is you need to, like many people already do, if you're a content creator and you're telling somebody about the microphone that you're speaking into, and somebody says, hey, what's that microphone? You're going to send them an affiliate link, right? You're going to send them a link, and you're going to get a little commission for doing that. And why wouldn't you do that? And why wouldn't that person buy that? That's no extra cost to that person. You're going to get a little money in your bank account on Amazon, and you get a little commission for that. So once you signed up for that, and many people already are, you then Google Amazon influencer program submission, and it's very easy. You log in with your Amazon account, and it picks one of 4 platforms. One is Instagram, one is TikTok, one is YouTube, and one is your Facebook business account. And so many people will, their first question is, ooh, okay, which one do I choose, right? Because many have all 4. You pick your most impactful platform, the one that you use most, the one that probably has the most followers, subscribers, whatever. And they will either approve you or deny you. Some of them take 5 days. Others, like YouTube, you'll know immediately whether or not you're in. The number of subscribers, the number of followers, which is usually the other question that we get very often, we don't know. We know it's generally plus or minus 2,000. We've seen some people get approved with less than 2,000, followers on Instagram. We've seen people that can't get approved with 5,000. So I think the best way to do this is to kind of like plus or minus 2,000, go for it with a submission. Make sure you've got your act together. Don't be buying followers or buying subscribers. I think there's ways of people being able to detect whether or not that's the case. And then if you do get rejected, what we've told a lot of people is just wait a couple of days, keep working at whatever you're working, and resubmit. And sometimes you'll just get approved.
Cool. Okay, that's great to know. That's great to know, especially if you get rejected, definitely don't lose hope. It just means that maybe you didn't get it the first time. So once you do get approved for the program, what is the first step that you recommend that people take? Like, what should you do? Buy your mom a car.
Go on vacation. No. I think the first thing you should do is you'll get a storefront, you'll get a shop page. And so whatever the handle that you used for your social media platform that you got approved, that will be your shop page. It'll be amazon.com/shop/ whatever your handle is. And so sometimes people, they don't like the handle they used. Like maybe they want a different sort of look or brand than whatever their handle is. That's fine. What we like to do is we like to use redirects. And you can also, when you go into your particular brand or your particular shop page, you can build up, put a banner on it like you would any social media platform, your avatar, your name, which you can change. So like, the platform we got approved on was Jim's Twitter account because he has more followers than Kim Kardashian. And so, but his Twitter handle is Fusion Marketing, but it's spelled MKTG, right?
Yep.
And so it's like, well, that's not very marketing friendly. A URL like that is not going to work, right? But so we, Dealcasters is the show, and the show was born on Amazon. So we didn't start our Twitter or our Facebook or LinkedIn or any of our social media until after the show was already rocking on Amazon. It was a total afterthought. So we couldn't go and get approved for a Twitter account when we were just started, or couldn't get it approved. And by the way, we're mentioning Twitter. Twitter is no longer a way for you to get approved.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is not either. So,
okay.
Those are also questions that we get. I don't know why, but that is the way it is, and they don't tell us. So, but anyway, Jim's handle was kind of funky, so we just use a redirect. And for a cup of coffee, you can get dealcasters.shop, you can get dealcasters.live, you can get whatever your brand name is, whatever you want. And so we just take that URL and we just redirect it. So anytime somebody says, how do I get to your show? How do I get to your shop? Go to dealcasters.shop. Go to dealcasters.live. If Andres was on our show and they were to say, how do I go to your show on Amazon? We'd say, go to andres.dealcasters.live. And we just redirect it because Amazon gives you these weird, long, funky URLs that look like hieroglyphics, and nobody's clicking on those. So. So we like to redirect them and give them something that they know where they're going and it's a little more trustworthy and that kind of thing. So we're big on redirects, just kind of utilizing the Amazon platform, and then whatever they give us, instead of complaining about it, we try to figure out a way to serve the people that we're speaking to.
Cool. That is awesome. So before Andreas has some questions for you, if I'm understanding it correctly, in order to have a storefront where you can make that affiliate commission, you have to be a part of the influencer program, correct?
Correct. They give you a shop page, and once you're approved in the Amazon Associates program, and then you go in the influencer program under your account, and then they give you banner specs and all of that. I'm sorry, Ed. The other thing I should mention, because you were talking about the first things you should do, this is all just going to be consulting right now for Julia because she's the one that heard. So we're going to tell her, okay, do this. But no, I'm kidding. But you should know that anytime you do something on Amazon, whether it's create an idea list, put up a shoppable video, which we can talk about, go live, all of those things that you can do as an Amazon influencer, that will populate on your shop page at the top. So any new thing you do. So if you go to a shop page, and if you right now go to dealcasters.shop, what you'll see is our latest live video at the top, which we went live the other day to talk about the launch of this microphone with Shure. And then underneath it is our shoppable videos. That's a recent change. So it's starting to look a little bit more like a YouTube channel. So so thumbnails are being a lot more impactful when people hit your shop page. When they're Googling your brand, your shop page is going to populate near the top. And so you want a good looking shop. You want something that's going to, when they get to there, it doesn't look like a train wreck, which it can if you're doing a lot of crazy stuff on Amazon. You kind of have to organize yourself so that it looks nice and clean when these brands or whomever are hitting your page. So the other thing you should do besides build that shop page up is do what I just talked about, which is shoppable video. So shoppable video is something that when people talk about the Amazon influencer program, they often say Amazon Live, and then they look at live selling and they look at live streaming and they see these people doing QVC and home shopping network, which is fine. And if that's what you're doing and that's your jam, then rock on, and so we do go live, but shoppable videos are a really great way for you to make some incremental revenue when you're not live, because these videos that you can make, which are usually about 2 minutes in length, kind of showing what a particular product is, they will live on the product page. And, Amazon's in control of where they are and how they're placed. And if there's like 100 influencer videos, then you're going to be in rotation and all of that. But that is like a thing that I would suggest you do relatively quickly, is to put together 3 really rock solid product videos, 2 minutes in length, product focused. Here's this, here's what it does, here's what it looks like, here's why I love it. Here's like a product video. Be really, have them be really good. Your audio needs to be good. It doesn't need to be, super amazing production, but it should be something that's product focused. Do 3 of those, and it usually takes about 4 weeks for Amazon then to approve you for shoppable video. And once that happens, game on. Look around you, everything that you bought on Amazon, do a video for it.
Cool. This is awesome.
I'm definitely gonna be applying for that influencer program like tonight.
Well, look at that gaming chair. You know how much money you're gonna make?
I could use a new one. Actually, I could use a new one and I was actually looking at those shares at Amazon. So maybe this could be my first product after getting approved, if I do get approved.
There you go.
So next question. And this is, I'm sure a lot of people are interested in listening to this answer, because we already talked about how you can apply as a person, and then how you can use this after every purchase, you can make a video and then get profit out of it. But how can a business benefit? Like, where do you think is the biggest area of opportunity for marketers and brands as it relates to Amazon?
There's a really fantastic influencer community, and we're using the word influencer. I mean, look at me. I'm a 52-year-old dad, right? I mean, like when I use the word influencer around my kids, they laugh at me like you wouldn't believe. And so, Amazon, when they started this thing years ago, they actually used really high-level celebrities, and it was a massive failure. Because when we talk about live selling, people are more apt to make a purchase decision when they are talking to people like normal people like us. And I'm sorry, Julia, I know you are not normal. You are the queen of Buffalo, right? But they trust that I kind of know what I'm talking about some tech stuff, and and podcasting and all of that kind of stuff, and I'm demonstrating it. And if I were Kevin Hart, they may not trust that I'm doing that because I'm getting a big paycheck if I'm him, right? And so I think that's something that if you were to think about that for your business, you've got people in your business right now that know what they're talking about. They're just not Kevin Hart and Kim Kardashian, and that's actually good. So this platform is really made for people that know what they're doing, have a good following of people that will come over to the platform when they do go live and have like sort of a fun show. And while they're live, if someone is on that page shopping for that particular product, you're actually helping them in their last moment of their buying decision. They're saying they're already in the mall. I mean, right now we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube. Those places, no one's going to shop. They're not. They go to Amazon, they're ready to buy. And so you're live in the mall. So if you're a business, that's where you need to be. You've got to be there. You've got to have people that are selling your products in there. And so this influencer community is a bunch of people that are a little green around the gills in terms of like, I've not done this. And for Jim and I, when you work on monetizing on YouTube, you do all of these things, you're thinking, well, one day, maybe I'll talk to Shure microphones. Maybe I'll talk to Halen Sound. Maybe I'll talk to Audio Technica. Maybe I'll talk to all of these companies that I have been working with all of their gear for years. And it took 6 months in the program, and our inbox was full of brands. Now, we say no more than we say yes. We don't just like, hey, free stuff, I'm going to do everything, because our brand, which is a whole different conversation, it's a long game for us. We want to make sure that when someone watches our show, when someone listens to our podcast, that if we talk about something, we believe in it. This is something we use. And sure, if a company has a conversation with us and sends us stuff, the first thing we say to them is, if we love it, we'll do it. If we don't, tell me where I send it back to. And that every single time, we do that. We've had live unboxings and whatever it was fell apart. And then the brand gets mad at us and we're like, send us something that works. I'm sorry. People want to trust us on the platform. And so that's, and Andres, I'm not sure if that exactly answers your question, but I think when you think about that opportunity of being in the middle of the mall, and it's not like YouTube where they're going to learn something, get something for free, and other people are using it as a way to monetize and make a little money, and so they're keeping you hanging around so they can get watch time. It's just a different animal altogether. The only I guess similarity between Amazon and YouTube is you can live stream, but the actual audience, for the most part, completely different. They're there to buy something, and so when you get a chat and somebody says, "Hey, does that noise cancellation work? What's the distance between, for that Bluetooth speaker?" And if you know about it, you answer the question, and then you wake up and look at your commission report, and you've sold 12 of them. It's crazy.
Yep.
Definitely, and yeah, that completely answers my questions. And looking at it from a consumer perspective, I actually have a product right in front of me that I bought at Amazon.
All right, let's sell it. Let's go. Let's sell it, Andres.
No, this was just after I saw it on TikTok. So someone else got commission for this. Someone else was on the influencer program, and I saw this little mic. It's a Bluetooth mic for your phone. Oh, that's the charger. So I just plug this onto my phone, and then this is my Bluetooth mic, and it has pretty good quality.
Yep.
And I've been looking for a mic like this everywhere in Puerto Rico, like crazy. Like, it's just so hard to find. Not even Best Buy has them. So I saw it on TikTok and I bought it. And now that I think about it, like, whoever brands this is, I would have never guessed this was a thing, like the Bluetooth version of this mic. Or I would have thought that it was so expensive that I was not going to be able to afford it. But it was cheap. It was like $30. And this is what that program does. It exposes your business, if I'm understanding right, to a wider audience, even outside of the United States, because this company, they don't sell this product anywhere in Puerto Rico. And if it wasn't for that influencer on TikTok, I would have never buy that. So I completely understand what you're saying, which moves me to my next question. And I think what I just said answers this question, but what's the biggest benefit you've seen for your business by using Amazon, both live and influencer program?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it, being financially beneficial, and as anyone who's a content entrepreneur, you want multiple streams of income. You want to diversify all of that income, and affiliate revenue is certainly something that whether it's a piece of software that you love or any items that you have, you want to sign up for an affiliate program so that when someone says, "Hey, what do you use for streaming?" "I use Wave.video," you can send them a link, and if they sign up for Wave.video, you're going to get a little money, for that. And so the affiliate, any affiliate revenue is all. You should always, anything that you use, always research that there's affiliate revenue. And then wherever you're at, again, if you use it, you believe in it, you love in it, why wouldn't you tell people about it? And if you're not telling people about it, it's like, what's the point, And so sometimes that affiliate revenue can fill your gas tank when you need it to fill the gas tank. And so, for us, for Jim and I, we never intended this to be something that was a full-time or quote-unquote full-time revenue stream for us. But it is, and it can be for a lot of people. And so we spend a lot of time focusing on it, not just because it is a incremental revenue stream for us, but because there's more and more and more for everyone. It's like we couldn't believe how few people were on the platform doing what we were doing. And you know, like, and you know how many products Amazon releases a day? It's insane. And then the other influencers on the program, and you know, there's a great community, but then there's a bunch of other folks that are like, shh, be quiet. Like, stop telling everybody about this because you're hurting my. And I was like, I don't know about you. I hate, you know, like scarcity mindset. Like, get, you know, like, let's be better at what we're doing. Let's tell other people about this because, you know, this is, listen, it's not lost on us at any point in time. You know, King Bezos could say, you know, no more Amazon influencer program for whatever reason, but he's not. And other people are looking at it. And, you know, so you've got Best Buy coming, you've got Target coming, you've got Costco coming, you've got all these people that are coming and they're going to have live sellers on their platform. You know, look what TikTok is now doubling down. They understand, you know, people, normal people, I keep using the word normal. I mean that in the best possible sense. You know, quote unquote influencers are actually helping to sell product for these platforms. And yeah, so that's really what it does for us. And so that gives us speaking gigs, gives us opportunities like this to speak to people, you know, on a great show like this, and you know, to do what we did at VidFest and PodFest in Orlando here a couple months ago.
Sweet. Nice. Wow, that's pretty much sums it all. Aside from everything we just talked, let's say that I get approved today for the Amazon influencer program and I want to start diving into those videos and like shoppable videos. What tools or equipment do people need to get started implementing like this? And I know there's some techniques, and right now you have some pretty high quality camera and a nice background. So what are your suggestions in there?
Well, if you go back to our first show, you wouldn't see such great stuff. Our first guest, by the way, was Jennifer Watson. I can't believe that she said yes, and she was our first guest. I think a lot of this is the other thing too, and I think for people that are looking to do interview shows, you know, I would suggest you get some third-party software. I mentioned Wave.video. Of course, there's StreamYard, Restream. There's all kinds of you know, platforms, and Wave.video actually has a specific place where you can click Amazon Live in there, whereas some of the others you have to jump through a few hoops for RTMP, so they make it a little bit easier. They're seeing that this thing is ramping up, but you do need an iOS device. So you know what a lot of people do that are maybe Android and they don't have an iPad, they'll go and buy like a used actual iPod that connects on Wi-Fi. And so you just got to download the Amazon Creator app, which is iOS only, sign in with your Amazon account, and the show is actually driven off of that iOS device. So you have to kind of tell it, here are the stream keys, here's the RTMP, and then you have to like go live in the device and then go live on your streaming software to do a show like this. If it's an interview and you want to do other camera angles to show the product, I would suggest to not wait on getting gear before you go live. There's a level up kind of thing with the Amazon influencer program. When you start at first, you're considered rising star. And that's like the lowest level thing. But in order to get to the next level, which you really want to be at, is just stream for 90 minutes, and you'll be considered an insider. And you could do that from your iPhone. You could do it from your iPad if you want to. If you want something get a little more crispy, get some software, get some, whatever you've got, you can do that. And then because that app allows you to click on Amazon products, which show up in your product carousel as you go live. And so then once you go live for 90 minutes, you're that insider level. The reason why you want to get to that insider level is because then when you go live and you click on a product, your live stream shows up on the product page. And that's what drives your traffic for the live stream. So we didn't really even know. And Jim and I, shortly after, kind of going through the program, we went live on Prime Day. And we were just planning on, well, let's go live on Prime Day. It's Prime Day. There's got to be a lot of people here. And we went live and we had over 10,000 people that were watching us in an hour. And we're like, oh, wow. Are you kidding me? And so immediately, we took a bio break and fired up the camera again and, went live for another, 14 hours. So it's crazy like that. Now you're not going to see maybe that much, and especially not on Prime Day, you're going to see numbers like that. But on a normal day, you're not going to see, you will see thousands for sure on a particular live stream, and then you'll go back in on that app and be able to see, hey, I made some money just for going live. And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people that go live and they hadn't seen any money. Maybe a brand pays them for a sponsorship or things like that. But this is actual money because someone, while watching your show, clicked on something and bought it or bought something else, which you also get credit for. That's the other thing too. So when you click on a product during a show or you click on a shoppable video that is yours as an Amazon influencer, for 24 hours, there's that cookie. And so Jim and I will look at our commission reports and be like, somebody bought a car tire, toothpaste, and some diapers today. And so we're like, we ain't talking about any of that stuff, but somebody clicked on something from us and within 24 hours, they bought those things.
Wow.
Yeah, so that I definitely need to get into it. Like,
it's so powerful, really.
How much I can make. Like I want to dive into it, and especially I like to buy a lot of random things. Like right now, top 2 has definitely been that mic, that Bluetooth mic for my phone, and then some background lights for my TV that have like a camera in the front and it detects the color on the screen. It projects them on the back, so it creates this cool little effect whenever you're watching a movie or playing video games. So yeah, I feel like I can do well in the Amazon influencer program. We'll see.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I already want to buy that mic from you.
No, legit. Like I'm gonna. If I apply today, let's say, and I get accepted, can I use that product? Like, do I need to rebuy it, or can I just use that?
You can use it. In fact, I would suggest anything that you own that is available and sold on Amazon, you should be doing something with. And that could be a shoppable video. You create a show maybe that has a particular theme. So you've got your lav mic, and maybe you've got some other lights, and maybe your camera. So you do a show on going live, or how to be presentable in Zoom, or whatever. You create like that theme, and so you put all those products in your carousel. You build up a show. You put a thumbnail, and you go live. And all of a sudden, you got people in your chat that are asking you questions about the stuff. It's really a thing.
Interesting. So any final tips to share with our audience before we move into our game session, which will fly by?
Yeah, I would say, we kind of covered a number of those tips, and I would say the big thing is, this is, for a lot of people, if the light bulbs are going on and people are like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I got to do this for myself. I got to do this for my business. And then they start looking at their follower counts, right? They start looking at, oh, well, I've got 800 followers on Instagram. I've got, 200 subscribers on YouTube, or I've got like 1,000 on my Facebook business page, like that whole thing. I would not get down at all about it. I would try to see if you can get in with your most impactful platform, whatever it is. And then if you do get denied, like I said before, work on the one that you want to work on most. And just realize you can start live selling right now, not on Amazon. You're already, chances are, talking about products, books that you're reading, things that inspire you. Get on TikTok and start talking about stuff like that. And if you've got an affiliate link or whatever, you can still do that. Start figuring out how that works. And then when you get approved for Amazon, you're so far ahead of so many people, because that like I said, that pool is pretty shallow. So that's one thing I hope helps the audience.
I love it. This has been so helpful and so valuable. Good. So let's play some games.
Yes. Would you like to play a game?
So, Chris, we are going to start off with our favorite game that we like to play on Now and Then called This or That. It is a rapid fire question game where I give you two things and you decide which you'd prefer. Are you ready? We're going to start off easy.
Okay. Yes, let's do it.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza. 100%. Buddy's Pizza, Detroit, Michigan. Pizza.
Good answer. I agree. Would you rather win a free trip to Japan or Ireland?
Japan. My oldest son is really into that culture, and do I get to take him with me?
Definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Japan.
Cool. That's what Andreas and I both said Japan too, and we were going through it yesterday. Favorite summer treat, ice cream or s'mores?
S'mores flavored ice cream.
Ooh, twist. Okay, I love
Right
the creativity. And you guys, I want to know, share your answers in the comments too. Would you rather run 5 miles or walk 15?
I will run 15. No, yeah, run. Definitely run. In fact, I ran 6 earlier today, this morning. So
gosh.
I wasn't running from anyone like Chad Peterson or anything like that. I just actually decided to run.
Wow.
So.
Well, that is very, very impressive. And then my last question, because I know that you love music, would you rather listen to only Van Halen or Foo Fighters for the rest of your life? You can only pick one.
Wow. Oh my God. I love playing Would You Rather. I really do. Because then questions like this. So can I choose the Van Halen? Can it be David Lee Roth? Can it be early Van Halen? Van Halen. Definitely Van Halen. I mean, I like Foo Fighters for sure. As long as I don't have to listen to the Gary Sharon album or most of the Sammy Hagar stuff. Van Halen.
Awesome. So we are going to play our second game, which is kind of more like a get to know you kind of a game. So I've got some questions for you and Andreas has some questions for you. So I want to know, who do you look up to the most and why?
Oh, I'm a big fan of, if you're someone that is looking to get better, is to, you can be inspired by people, and I'm inspired by the Man in the Arena speech by Roosevelt in things like that, and books that I read. But I like to be, I look up to Jim Fuse, who is, the partner I have on Dealcasters. He kind of keeps me centered. He's very much a guy that is kind of reminds me every once in a while, like, hey, you're not in control of that, Chris, and he's somebody I can bounce off of, iron sharpening iron, where I can just kind of say, hey, is this going to work? And he's going to say, no, that's a terrible idea, and here's why. And it's just like, okay, yeah, he's probably right. And it doesn't hurt my feelings. And so I'm a big fan of finding somebody you can connect with, in your kind of local community, if you will. So yeah, Jim Fuse.
I love that. And Joanna, shout out to you for shouting out your mom and your dad. That's very, very sweet. And Chris, what is the best place that you've ever traveled and why?
Oh, I just got back from Europe. We did 5 countries in 13 days with my family, and it's really tough to pick. Austria was amazing. We went up into the Bavarian Alps and got to see Eagle's Nest, and up there it was more of a World War II themed kind of trip. So yeah, that was just amazing to be there, and where they filmed The Sound of Music and all of these places in Germany and Munich. So I know that's probably more answers than just one, but I can't pick my favorite kid out of that trip.
No, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is so cool. I want to go to 5 countries. In 13 days sounds a little hectic. I'd prefer to maybe maybe have a little bit more time, but that sounds like an incredible trip to do with your family. So I'm so happy you got to do that this summer. And Andres, I know that you have some questions for Chris.
I do. Chris, what's your favorite chain restaurant or coffee shop?
I would say probably Starbucks for coffee. I feel like it's consistent. You're getting pretty much the same cup of coffee that you order, in Atlanta or in Buffalo, New York. You're going to get that very same. I realize the baristas are different, but I feel like you're pretty much getting the same drink. And so and it's what I order at Starbucks is good. Their espresso is good. And so got to be Starbucks.
What's your, I have to ask, what's your go-to Starbucks order?
Red Eye. It's Pike's Place with a shot of espresso.
Yeah.
Boom. Back in the game.
I'm not a huge fan of Starbucks. I rather drink like the local coffee. Like they're pretty good here in Puerto Rico. They're pretty strong. You can taste the difference, definitely. Last question. What's one thing you're working on right now that gets you excited?
I'm going to be speaking next month in Virginia at Newport News at a conference called Live the Live Life. So I'm working on two different talks that I'm doing there. One is on repurposing your content, and another is on multi-streaming. So it's around live selling and live streaming. So I'm excited about working on that, and got some ideas mulling around that I need to cobble together into a very organized Google Doc like Julia makes.
Well, that sounds awesome. Good for you for having these upcoming speaking opportunities. That's going to be really great. It's so nice that events are happening again in person and we get to connect. There's nothing, while this is amazing and doing live video is so fun, there's nothing like that in-person connection.
100%. Love it.
Well, Chris, you've just shared so much value. I mean, Andreas and I are literally going to be like running off to be setting up our storefronts and everything after this. So how can people get in touch with you? How can they learn more from you? Share everything.
I make it easy. Like I told you earlier, I'm a big fan of redirects. So you can connect with me on any platform you want to connect with me on. I'm on all the tubes. All you got to do is go to chrisstone.contact, and that'll send you to a place where you can choose however you want to connect with me. If it's LinkedIn, if it's Facebook, if it's Instagram, if it's Amazon. Pinterest is on there. I can't believe I have a Pinterest page. My only follower on Pinterest is Chaddy Peterson. So that's what he
pretty
prefers.
Good. I like Pinterest.
Yeah.
I love it. So you guys make sure to visit chrisstone.contact. And also, if you guys have enjoyed this conversation, I am going to be putting everything together in a blog post so that you guys do not miss any of the gems that Chris dropped in the show. So be sure to type the word recap in the comments. That will trigger our chat bot, which will make sure that you get subscribed to our blog and that you do not miss out on all of the awesomeness that Chris shared. And stay tuned because we have something very exciting for next month. Next month is not only going to be our now-anniversary for our Now and Them live show. It's going to be episode 12, and we are so excited because we are going to be bringing our own teammate on. We're bringing on George Witcher, who we call OG. OG's coming on September 1st, so be sure to mark your calendars for 3:30 p.m. because George is going to join us and we are going to talk all things web development. So this is not going to be an episode that you want to miss because we're going to talk about what you need to know, what you need to pay attention to, really everything to make your website stand out, not only in 2022, but moving into the future because there have been a lot of updates from Google Analytics to really everything. So make sure you mark your calendar for September 1st. Thank you again, Chris, for joining us. This was so much fun. Yeah. And we will see you guys next month.